Lulu agrees to keep Brook Lynn's secret, but has a warning for her, and Chase is forced to arrest. Spoiler. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At Jordan's place, she and Isaiah argue about her investigating Sidwell. Jordan says if their being together hinges on her not investigating Sidwell, then this is over. He says he'll accept her investigating Sidwell, even if he doesn't like it. They share a kiss, and he guesses they should get used to spending a lot of time here, which means grocery shopping. The General Hospital returns set to blow the truth of Gio's identity out of the water. Maxie tells all to Dante. Dante stops by Maxie's house as he is worried Lulu's going to get herself in a situation she can't get out of. Maxie slips up about Lulu's latest escapade, breaking into Martin's hotel room. Dante calls Lulu out of control. Maxie thinks he should talk to Lulu, but Danny says they can't talk like they used to because of Sam. He's trying to keep this family together, and his number one priority is to be a dad. He says Rocco is also hurting, as he doesn't want his mom to put herself in danger to find Charlotte, but he wants his sister back. He can't talk to Lulu, but he can talk with Brook Lynn, and that only hurts Lulu. He can't believe this Brook Lynn and Lulu thing has gone on this long. Maxie blurts out, "It's because Lulu is still in love with you." Dante is confused as Lulu was going to marry Dustin. Maxie hates having to break girl code, but tells him that Lulu broke things off with Dustin, and was going to tell Dante she wanted him back, but that's when she went into the coma. Maxie says he's asked Lulu to be patient with Brook Lynn, but he needs to be patient with Lulu. Maxie points out that Rocco needs both him and Lulu, and they have to be there for him no matter what is going on between them. Lulu gives Brook Lynn a heads up. In Brook Lynn's room, she yells at Lulu that telling Dante will blow up a lot of lives and won't make this better for anyone. Lulu says this will change Dante's life, and her life changed when she found out about Charlotte. Brook Lynn says that was a different situation. Charlotte was little, and her son is an adult and may not know he's adopted. As much as she'd love for her child to show up and want to be part of her life, it is not their choice. It's her child's choice. Lulu feels that Dante is a wonderful father, and that any boy would be lucky to have him in his life. She urges her to tell Dante. Brook Lynn says she could lie about Dante being the father. Lulu can't believe she'd do that. Brook Lynn states she'll do anything to protect her child. She tells Lulu that knowing you have a child you can't be with is agony, and she'll be subjecting Dante to the same pain. She says Dante will move heaven and earth to find their child, which means Rocco will have been abandoned by both his parents, who are searching for their other kids. Lulu becomes furious and can't believe she'd use her child against her, and it's a good thing she gave her kid up, as she's not fit to be anyone's mother. Brook Lynn tries to slap her, but Lulu grabs her hand. Brook Lynn cries she is a mother. She gave her baby up for adoption. She wouldn't let herself hold him, and she didn't know if she had a boy or a girl until Lulu told her. Lulu is sorry and assumes she knew. Brook Lynn notes she probably also assumed it was easy for her to give her baby up, but it wasn't. She cries she loved her baby and has to believe that by giving him away, she gave him a better life. She wants to know how he turned out, but not at the expense of his happiness or peace. She says, "Even I'm not that selfish." Brook Lynn says if her son wants to find his birth parents, then he will, but until then, she begs Lulu to leave it alone. Lulu doesn't want to be the one who blows up Dante's life or their child's. She won't tell Dante, but she thinks Brook Lynn should. Brook Lynn made her choice years ago, and the past needs to stay in the past. Lulu tells Brook Lynn this secret isn't the past, and she never would have found out about this if her mother hadn't talked to Martin. Lulu leaves Brook Lynn's room. Brook Lynn grabs her phone and texts her mom that they need to talk about Gio. In the living room, Ned asks why Lois is okay letting Gio be a charity case for Sunny. Lois says Gio isn't a charity case and he's family. Ned knows the boy is an honorary Cirillo, but what does that have to do with taking money from Sunny? Lois says the Cirillos loved Gio and they loved his mother, but they needed Sunny's money to make sure Gio's talent for music was cultivated. Ned asks why she went to Sunny instead of coming to him. Lois says Ned already supports enough generous causes. Sunny grew up alone and didn't want Gio to struggle the same way he did. Showdown at the Quartermain crypt. Tracy visits her parents' crypt and says she will not let Drew take anything from this family. She then hears Martin and Drew outside talking. With Martin's help, Drew has the crypt seized by the state and hangs a sign on it stating so. Tracy walks out and asks what is going on. Martin says this building has been seized and must be vacated. Martin hands Tracy a court order, which she rips up. She threatens to call the police, but Drew says the law is on their side. Drew and Tracy throw insults, and Drew says, "You Quartermains think you can do anything you want. You make me sick." He doesn't care who she thinks she is, as she isn't getting her way this time. Emma and Gio show up, and Emma yells, "Hey, leave the old lady alone." Tracy gasps, "Old lady?" Drew tells Emma that the Quartermains have appropriated public land, and the crypt goes over the property and is on protected land. He trash talks Edward, which riles up Emma. The young girl yells that Edward Quartermain saved her life and Tracy rescued her from kidnappers. Drew introduces himself, and Emma calls him a petty congressman and notes they are trespassing. Tracy again says she is calling the police. Drew calls Tracy a bully, and Tracy yells, says the man using the family crypt to punish the people who threw him out of said family. Gio rushes into the main house and tells Ned and Lois what's going on between Drew and Tracy at the crypt. Back at the crypt, Chase arrives and learns about the issue with the Quartermain crypt. Ned, Gio, and Lois are also there, and Drew says the Quartermains need to move the family crypt off the protected public land. Tracy says this is all about Drew's hatred of this family. Emma pulls out her phone, begins filming, and asks the congressman if he should be helping his constituents instead of threatening them. Emma points out that Congress is in session, so why is he here and not there serving his people? Tracy notes that the surveyor said his findings on the crypt were preliminary. So how did Drew and Martin get a court order to seize the building so quickly? Emma continues to film the altercation. Back at Jordan's, she and Isaiah are doing some online shopping for food when Ned calls Jordan. Chase makes an arrest. Jordan arrives at the Quartermain crypt as a favor to Ned. Drew thinks she shouldn't have to be dragged out here, and the law is the law, and it's on his side. The crypt partially stands on conserved public land. Tracy recalls that Martin agreed to drop all of this if Drew would be allowed to use the Quartermain name. Drew asks Tracy who he is, Drew Kane or Drew Quartermain. She says he can call himself whatever he wants, but he'll never be a Quartermain. Emma posts her video, slamming Drew, and Tracy smacks the surveyor's measuring instrument out of his hand when he begins taking measurements. Drew says that's assault, and Chase is forced to arrest Tracy when the surveyor wants to press charges, thanks to Martin nodding to him to do so. Back in the mansion, Lois arrives, having gotten Brook Lynn's text. She sees that her daughter is upset. Brook Lynn asks, "What do you know about my child that you aren't telling me?"